Hi everyone and welcome to Accounting 1. Depending on which section you are in for Accounting 1, the structure of your class may be different. However, the concepts and how our course is laid out is all the same, no matter which section you're in. The work that you do, all the same. So what I want to show you first is just how to get started to make sure that you are set up to be successful that first week of class. So we click into Content, it pulls up all of the modules. You can click into the overview to read the basics about what our class is going to be about, and then it tells you to go to the Getting Started module. So that's what you need to do as soon as the class is open. So we're going to click into Getting Started. In here, you're going to see the instructor information, the syllabus, course expectations, the course schedule, our policies and resources, Smart Thinking tutoring, and then Zoom information if your class requires it. So I advise you to go through and look at all of the information in detail. As far as instructor information, for my courses, you're going to see how to contact me in here. You're going to get a little bit of a background as to how I came to do this. And later in the semester, once we've established what our office hours are, you'll also have a link in here that you can schedule office hours with me directly through my calendar. So that's good to have. Going back to the Getting Started, another piece that's really important is to make sure you look through the course expectations to make sure that you're aware of how our class is going to work and what you're expected to know. It has the attendance, it has awards you can earn, how to communicate, how your grade is calculated. It tells you what materials. Now for our Dover students that are taking Accounting 1 in any Dover section, so that means your section starts with the number 6. So it's going to be ACC 101 and then it's 6 something. So ours, we have something where your ebook and your access to the program we use called McGraw-Hill Connect is included with your registration. So you've already been billed for it, so you have no further materials that you need to purchase. Everything is included. This also tells you the course structure, it tells you our late work policy, and how to handle our discussion boards that you're going to see for our course. Going back to the Getting Started, the next thing that's really important, and there is an option here to print it, so I recommend that everyone print it or take pictures of it with your phone so you have it easily accessible. This is our course schedule that tells you when all of your graded assignments are due and what we're working on each week. So as you can see, this is not like some of the other courses you've seen where you have one due date that's due on Sunday or due on Saturday. We have due dates throughout the week, every week, except for our first week. The first week you are given until Friday to get all of that work done for week 1. But after that, you're going to see that you typically are going to have a Monday, Thursday, and a Friday due date each week, except for exam weeks. So I recommend, again, making sure you take a picture of this, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, you see that we have a 15-week class in this section. So you can click on that printable schedule and it will pull up a document that you can print so that it's easy that you can save it or you can print it, either one. But that I recommend having that schedule available so that you can make sure you meet all the due dates that come up in our course. Also important is to make sure you review the policies and resources. We have a Smart Thinking tab, which is for tutoring online. There are other tutoring options that I'll provide once our class gets started. And then the last link is Zoom meetings and recordings. Depending on how your class is meeting, whether it's a face-to-face class, a web conferencing, or a strictly online course, that will determine whether you have Zoom meetings or not. So you'll look at your class details to determine that. The next thing we want to look at is going to be your McGraw-Hill Connect. And this is where it tells you how to access the information in Connect that we're going to be using. We're using something called McGraw-Hill Connect. It's our learning management platform, and that's where you're going to do all of your graded assignments for Accounting 1. So reviewing these tabs will be very helpful. It also will have information on how to get, if you go into the Connect videos, for example, it tells you how to get registered in Connect, how to navigate it if you have technical issues, and how to view your grades and assignments. So this Connect registration is the first thing that you should be looking at because it's going to tell you how to register for Connect. If you've used Connect before, then it's pretty simple. it's going to link you to the account that it recognizes. If you've never used Connect, it's going to ask you for some information to create your profile. So that's how we access our book, and that's important to make sure that you're familiar with that. It also has a link in here that tells you about your assignment information, and it tells you what kind of assignments we have, how they're structured, what kind of attempt you're given, and time frames and things like that. There are also optional assignments that you have and extra credit, so that's where this information is coming from. Going back to our content, you will see that we have discussion boards. The first one is our introductions that you will do, and then we have 3 other ones throughout our course that you will complete. Details are in each one of them. As far as getting started for our week 1, again, it depends on what modality you're taking this course in. If you're taking a face-to-face course, I would check your announcements to see when you meet face-to-face and what the expectation is before you come to class. And that way you can also make sure that you meet all the due dates that are coming up. So week 1, if we click on that, we can see that we first need to click into this web page, and it's going to tell us everything that we need to know for week 1, everything that we're expected to complete and do during week 1. Now, if you have a face-to-face class and it meets earlier in the week, you may be able to wait until you come to class to get started. If you don't meet until later in the week, you want to make sure that you have time after you meet to meet that Friday due date for that first week 1. So again, everything is in here, and then it takes you to McGraw-Hill Connect for that next assignment. And then you'll also see that you can access the Connect assignments. Now this will be available as of the 27th. So our class is open, but you won't be able to do those assignments until the 27th, which is Friday. So it's not too far from now. That will take care of week 1, and we'll be posting lots of announcements in between that. But you can see that each week is broken down into the sections that we're covering. So week 1, we don't have a chapter that we're starting. We're just getting you oriented with a course and making sure you know how to use Connect and that you're familiar with all of the expectations. Week 2, we dive into chapter 1, and we'll get started. And I advise you to just glance through the rest of the course setup just to make sure you're familiar with what is going to be covered each week. But before doing anything, make sure you follow along and read through each of the modules in the Getting Started, your McGraw-Hill Connect, and then at week 1, let's get up and running. That's what's important for this first week. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.